percent volume. So these are the ways to express concentration of H2O2. I should remember this. What I should remember? Always 1 molar H2O2 is equal to 2 normal H2O2 is equal to 3.4 W by V percent, weight percentage is equal to 11.2 V by V. I should also remember 30 W by V percent H2O2 is nearly equal to 100 V by V H2O2 is called per hydrol. It is a commercial H2O2. Also, I should remember always volume of oxygen released from H2O2 is equal to volume of H2O2 taken into volume strength. I should remember this formula. If I know that in a given problem we have taken 50 ml of 2 molar H2O2. 1 molar H2O2 is 11.2 V by V. 2 molar H2O2 means 22.4 V by V. Therefore, the volume of oxygen liberated is equal to volume of H2O2 taken into its volume strength. It is 50 into 22.4. It is 112. 1120 ml oxygen is released. Try to do this problem. What volume of oxygen released from 100 ml of 30 W by V H2O2 solution. A test. Try to solve this problem. Here this time they gave not V by V, they gave weight percentage. 30 W by V percent. Solution. 100 ml is the volume. Volume of H2O2 taken is 100. The volume strength they have not given. They gave weight percentage. I should remember the relation from previous slide. Always 3.4 W by V is equal to 11.2 V by V. 3.4 W by V is equal to 11.2 V by V. 30 W by V percentage equal to how much? 11.2 by 3.4 into 30. This is the volume strength of H2O2. Always volume of oxygen release is equal to volume of oxygen release is equal to volume strength into volume of H2O2 taken. Here the volume of H2O2 taken is 50. Volume strength is this much. What is the answer, sir? Can you simplify? Roughly 5,000 ml. Exactly it is 4,941, but okay. Can you see this really? How we have solved? What is the basic idea I should remember? If I dissolve 34 grams H2O2 in 1000 ml, that makes 3.4 W by V percentage. That is equal to 1 molar. That is equal to 2 normal. That is equal to 11.2 V by V. If I remember this, I can solve any problem. Always, volume of oxygen released at STP is equal to volume strength into volume of H2O2 solution. Understand this basic idea fundamentally. Do I know that H2O2 molecular weight is for 34? Do I know when one molecular weight is dissolved in 1000 ml or 1 liter, I get 1 molar solution? The molarity into N factor of H2O2, because it is an acid that gives 2H plus. Because it is an acid that gives 2H plus, N factor of H2O2 is 2. I should know that molarity into N factor is normality. I should know very clearly that H2O2, whenever decomposes, gives H2O plus half O2. For every 1 mole of H2O2, I get half mole of O2. If I am dissolving 1 mole of H2O2, 34 grams in 1000 ml, I call it as 1 molar, also as 2 normal. This 34 grams in 1000 ml means 3.4 grams in 100 ml. So I call it as 3.4 W by V. One H2O2 always on decomposition gives half O2. 1 mole gives half mole. Yet STP, 1 mole of any gas occupies 22.4 liters. Half mole occupies 11.2 liters. So in order to get the 11.2 liters of oxygen, I have to take this H2O2 solution, which has 34 grams dissolved in 1 liter. This 1 liter solution, which has 34 grams, will give me 11.2 liters of oxygen at STP. So it is a blind rule of thumb I should remember. 34 grams H2O in 1000 ml or 1 liter means 3.4 grams in 100 ml, which means 1 mole in 1 liter, which means 2 normal, which means 11.2 liters of oxygen per 1 liter of the solution. I should remember this conversion. Always volume of oxygen release is equal to volume of H2O2 I have taken into volume strength. If they give me molarity, I have to change to volume strength. If they give normality, I have to change to volume strength. If they give me weight percentage, I have to get volume strength. From volume strength, if I multiply with volume of solution I have taken, I get volume of oxygen. In a given problem, 50 ml of H2O2 is taken. They stated its molarity as 2, whose concentration is 2 molar. Now they gave me volume of solution which they are decomposing, but they gave me molarity. I need to convert the molarity into volume strength. I know 1 molar is 11.2 V by V. 2 molar is equal to how much? I can work out. 2 molar is equal to 22.4. So I have now problem solved. Volume of H2O2 is 50. Volume of H2O2 is 50. Volume strength is 22.4. If I multiply these two, I get volume of oxygen at ST. Are we very clear about it? Are we very clear about it? Sir, H2O2 can act as an oxidizing agent. Oxidizing agent is one who takes electrons. It can take electrons in acidic medium to become 2H2O. It can take electrons in basic medium to become 3OH minus. It can take electrons even if there is no medium at all. Therefore, H2O2 is a good oxidizing agent. H2O2 is a oxidizing agent. H2O2 is a good oxidizing agent. Okay, you understand? H2O2 is oxidizing agent where it is taking 2 electrons. H2O2 can act as a reducing agent where it loses electrons. In acidic medium, it loses electrons to give O2. In basic medium also, it can lose electrons to give 2H2O and O2 plus 2 electrons. Notice, H2O2 can lose electrons. H2O2 can gain electrons. It is an oxidizing agent. It is a reducing agent too. With some fellows, it is oxidizing agent. With some fellows, it is a reducing agent. Also, H2O2 can act like a weak acid, where it gives H2O2 can lose 2H plus and behave like a acid, right? Therefore, H2O2 is a weak acid. It is the oxidizing agent. It is a reducing agent. It is an acid. All the three. Now let us examine with whom it is an oxidizing agent. Some reagents. For example, when H2O2 reacts with PBS, no need of acid or base. Happily, it is an oxidizing agent. H2O2 as oxidizing agent. With PBS, which is black in color, 4 moles react. You get PbSO4 plus 4 water. When it reacts with iodide ions in acidic medium, very important. If you change the medium, reaction will not happen. 2 iodide ions in presence of 2H plus, you get iodine and 2 water. So iodide ion, which has minus charge, is sacrificing the electrons to H2O2 and becoming I2. If you are adding starch solution to it, starch has no color with iodide, but when the reaction is over, it gets violet color, blue-violet. In fact, adding starch H2O2 and Ki is a test for H2O2. In this test tube, somebody says, do I have H2O2 or water? Then to check what you do is, you add a little bit Ki and a little bit acid and starch. If the Ki liberates iodine, starch will show violet color. If the starch is showing violet color, you say, yes, it is H2O2. If the violet color, blue-violet, you are not getting, then you say it is not H2O2. So, for H2O2, it is a test. Are we very clear? Let us clear this and rewrite. H2O2, when acts like an oxidizing agent, it converts PBS to PbSO4. 4 moles are needed. No acid base. It reacts with iodide ions in presence of H plus to give iodine. It reacts with ferrous ions, where 2 ferrous ions in acidic medium or even in basic medium can lose electrons to give ferric. So I minus loses electrons to give iodine. Ferrous become ferric. Black PBS becomes white PbSO4. In all these reactions, H2O2 is an oxidizing agent. PBS become PbSO4, white. Two iodide ions are becoming iodine in acidic medium. Ferrous ions are becoming ferric ions. You can take ferrous ions in a very complex form like potassium ferrocyanide, K4FeCN6. Here also iron is +2. This dangerous complex will take potassium ferricyanide formate. Here iron is +3. So potassium ferrocyanide become potassium ferricyanide by H2O2. H2O2 in all these reactions is taking away electrons. In this case, it is taking away electron from sulfide. In this case, it is taking away electron from iodide. In this case, it is taking away electron from ferrous. Here also, it is taking away electron from ferrous. When ferrous is losing electron, you get ferric. When iodide loses electron, you get iodine. When sulfide loses electron, you get sulfate. In all these reactions, H2O2 is a oxidizing agent. A good oxidizing agent. When H2O2 acts as bleaching agent means when it is removing the color of paper, ivory, etc., it bleaches, removes the dirt and color due to oxidation. So this is very important property of H2O2, which is used as an antiseptic, as a cleansing agent, as a drain cleanser in the drainages, as a oxygen source in rockets, and as a good bleaching agent. That is a note on H2O2, oxidizing properties. Now we look at the reducing properties. Reducing properties of H2O2, where H2O2 is losing electrons. When H2O2 is losing electrons, it is a reducing agent. For example, whenever H2O2 acts like a reducing agent, with 2 moles of KMnO4, 5 moles of H2O2 reacts in presence of 3 H2SO4. All the 3 are to be taken together. You get 5O2 plus K2SO4 plus 2 MnSO4 plus 8 water. No need to worry about the entire reaction. You should notice when permanganate, which has pink color, reacts with H2O2, the color is lost, oxygen gas is evolved. A lot of oxygen gas is evolved. In fact, it is a method to make oxygen very easily at your home. You buy a H2O2 bottle, just pour it in permanganate, that is also available in medical shop. Immediately you get oxygen gas. When H2O2 reacts with iodine in basic medium, you get iodide ion. Have you noticed the reverse reaction happened in acidic medium? In acidic medium, H2O2 reacted with iodide ion to give iodine. However, in basic medium, H2O2 reacts with iodine in basic medium to give iodine. If you react with silver oxide, urgently you get silver metal and O2 gas on H2O. Whenever O2 is one of the products, H2O2 acts like oxidizing agent, reducing agent. So that is a very important clue, sir. Whenever you see O2 is one of the products, in reactions of H2O2, it implies H2O2 is reducing agent. Sir, please notice, if you don't do anything, if you simply put H2O2 in a bottle, slowly it will break down to give H2O and oxygen. If you carefully look at this reaction, originally here in hydrogen peroxide, each oxygen has -1 charge. The -1 charge of oxygen in H2O2 will become -2. It is becoming more minus. When it is becoming more minus, it means its value is decreasing. It is called as reduction. In oxygen, the charge on oxygen is 0. So -1 is becoming 0 means the oxidation number or charge is increasing. Then I call it as oxidation. So simply if I put H2O2, a part of it undergo reduction, a part of it undergo oxidation. If both are happening all by itself, it is called disproportionation. So decomposition of H2O2 is called a disproportionation as it involves reduction as well as oxidation. Auto-oxidation, auto-reduction. Now we are going to quickly look at the textbook. When this series closes, you will be meeting again on Monday. Read the lesson thoroughly. Okay, sir? Look at the textbook quickly. Hello, how many minutes are there? Hello. Students should remember the structure of H2O2 in gas phase and in solid phase, the bond angles, bond length, bond parameters, how they are changing. OO bond length is 147.5 in gas phase, which is shortened to 145.8 in solid phase. OH bond length is 95 picometers in gas phase, which is lengthened to 98.8 picometers in solid phase. The angle between the two planes of the book, which is called dihedral angle, 111.5 in gas phase, which is a drop to 90.2. Similarly, the OOH bond angle is 94.8 in gas phase, which is elongated to 101.9. So students should remember these bond parameters without fail. Oxidizing action in acidic medium. In acidic medium, when H2O2 is taking away electrons, it is taking away electron from ferrous so that it became ferric. Notice, PbS, lead sulfide, when it reacts with H2O2, it becomes white PbSO4. When the painting becomes old and black due to PbS formation, if you wash the old painting with H2O2, again you get that beautiful white color. PbSO4 forms. Now, first two are the oxidizing properties of H2O2, where H2O2 is gaining electrons in acidic medium. Notice, H2O2 can lose also electrons in acidic medium with chemicals like permanganate. When it reacts with permanganate in acidic medium, it is actually losing electrons and permanganate loses the color. When H2O2 reacts in acidic medium with HOCl, hypochlorous acid, you are getting O2 gas. Whenever O2 is one of the products, H2O2 is reducing it. Now, oxidizing property of H2O2 in basic medium. When ferrous ions are reacting with H2O2 in basic medium, you are getting ferric ions. When manganese plus 2 ions react with H2O2 in basic medium, Mn plus 2 will lose some more electrons. When Mn plus 2 is losing, H2O2 is gaining. When H2O2 gains electrons, it is oxidizing agent. Oxidizing agent is one which gains electrons. Similarly, H2O2 can lose electrons in basic medium. It is a best loser in basic medium. It reacts with H2O2 in basic medium to give iodide. Similarly, it reacts with permanganate in basic medium to give MnO2, manganese dioxide. About the storage of H2O2, I told, if you don't store properly H2O2, it will decompose and explode. So you should keep it in a dark color, black bottles where wax is coated, away from sunlight, away from shock and noise. You can add materials like urea, sodium stannate, glycerol, phosphoric acid to increase the bench life of H2O2. They are called stabilizers. If you are adding sand, bases, metals, metal oxides, H2O2 readily explodes. So they are called the catalysts for decomposition. We have seen the uses of H2O2, antiseptic, disinfectant. It is used in the manufacture of perborates, which are used in making detergents. Hydroquinone and tartaric acid, which are used in medicines, can be made from H2O2. It's a bleaching agent for textiles, papers. In environmental chemistry, to save the environment from pollution, H2O2 is used in pollution treatment. Now, we also talked about heavy water. Heavy water is different from hard water. Hard water is water that contains salt. Heavy water is deuterium oxide that is made by repeated electrolysis of ordinary water. This heavy water behaves like water but reacts slowly. Reaction of water with salts like calcium carbide, aluminum carbide are called hydrolysis. Water will break the calcium carbide into calcium hydroxide and H2CO2 acetylene. The same calcium carbide reacts with heavy water to give heavy acetylene, C2D2, and calcium deuteroxide. H2O, D2O both react similar, but the difference is H2O is fast, D2O is slow. If I dissolve SO3 in water, I get H2SO4. In heavy water, I get D2SO4. If I put water with aluminum carbide, I get CH4 methane and aluminum hydroxide. If I put heavy water, I get deuteromethane and aluminum deuteroxide. These reactions where aluminum carbide, calcium carbide are broken by heavy water is called deuterolysis. If they are broken by water, it is called hydrolysis. These are important reactions. Also, I want to conclude dihydrogen is a very important fuel. It is a better fuel than LPG and cooking gas. But only problem with is transportation. Here is a comparative account of the quality of fuels. The higher is the value released in combustion, higher is the energy release, better is the fuel. Amongst all fuels per gram, hydrogen gas gives highest energy. Hydrogen is a better fuel with no doubt. Only problem with hydrogen is storage and transport. It is very difficult to store and transport. To store hydrogen, you require very strong metal containers, maybe Na, Ni5, Ti, TiH2, Mg, MgH2. They are rare and strong alloys. The techniques of transportation and storage of hydrogen are referred to as hydrogen economy. If you are able to store them and transport them as a liquid or gas, a lot of money can be saved from buying fuel like petrol, diesel. Therefore, it's a good idea to develop hydrogen as an alternate fuel. Moreover, it won't cause any pollution to environment. If you burn, you get water. There are something called fuel cells which are used nowadays in rockets. Fuel cells are supposed to be very efficient cells, unlike your battery cells. So this is a quick note on hydrogen and its compounds. Read the lesson thoroughly. I try to make one more video on H2O2. With that note, I close the class. Exam portion is complete hydrogen and its compounds. Complete 100% hydrogen and its compounds. I want to notice, how can you test H2O2 in a test tube? In a test tube, if you add titanium oxide to H2O2, titanium oxide H2O2 are colorless. You get H2TiO4 pertitanic acid, which has orange color. Pertitanic acid. So how can you test for H2O2 means 3 ways. You add potassium iodide and starch. you get a violet color. You add permanganate, immediately permanganate loses its color. You add TiO2, you get orange color pentitanic acid. So one can identify H2O2 with these three tests. You understand? Hello? Are we very clear in what we are doing, sir? I am asking all of you to unmute. You can speak now.
Yes, sir.
You got the lesson? Did we go very fast or what? Yes, sir. I want to see your beautiful faces now. Hello?
Yes,
Seeing all of you.
sir.
Fine. Fuel cell is a particular cell where the hydrogen of the chemical hydrogen energy is directly converted to electrical energy. Fuel cells are supposed to be 100% efficient. Okay? I am not able to see you. Let me see you. Where it is? Wait. Yeah.
I am up, sir.
You can time up. That's why I asked you to on your video. You can.
Less than